Every morning on her way to work, Mai passed by a small corner where a young girl sold lottery tickets. The girl, no more than 12, had a bright smile that could light up the dreariest of days. She always greeted Mai with a cheerful, "Good morning, Auntie," and tried to sell her a ticket, even if Mai never bought one. The girl's name was Lin, and Mai often wondered what her life was like, working so hard at such a young age. One chilly morning, as Mai walked to the bus stop, she noticed that Lin was absent from her usual spot. Concerned, she glanced around, hoping to see her, but there was no sign of the girl. Days turned into a week, and each day, Mai felt a nagging worry growing in her heart. Finally, she decided to ask a nearby vendor. "Have you seen the girl who sells lottery tickets?" Mai inquired. The vendor sighed, shaking his head. "She's been sick for a while now. I think her family is struggling." Mai's heart sank. She couldn't bear the thought of Lin suffering alone. That evening, after work, Mai made her way to Lin's neighborhood. It wasn't easy to find her house, but she remembered a few details from their conversations. Finally, she came across a small, dilapidated home with peeling paint and a rickety gate. Gathering her courage, Mai knocked on the door. A tired woman answered, and upon recognizing Lin's mother, Mai introduced herself. "I'm Mai. I often see Lin selling tickets. I heard she's not well. Is she okay?" Lin's mother sighed, her eyes filled with concern. "She has a fever and hasn't been able to sell tickets for days. We're struggling to pay for medicine." Mai felt a pang of empathy. She knew that every day Lin sold tickets was a day her family could eat. "Can I see her?" The mother nodded, leading Mai inside. Lin lay on a small cot, her cheeks flushed and her eyes heavy. When she saw Mai, her face brightened despite her illness. "Auntie Mai. You came to see me?" Mai smiled softly. "Of course, I did. How are you feeling?" "I'm okay, but I miss selling tickets," Lin replied weakly. After a moment of hesitation, Mai took out her wallet and handed Lin's mother a few bills. "Here, this is for her medicine. And I'd like to buy all your tickets for today. You can use that money to help with the bills." Lin's mother's eyes widened in disbelief. "Thank you, Mai. You don't have to." But Mai insisted, "It's okay. Just take care of her. I'll be back tomorrow to check on you both." Over the next few days, Mai visited Lin regularly, bringing soup and medicine. She would sit by the cot, telling stories and encouraging Lin to rest. Slowly, Lin began to recover. The warmth of Mai's kindness lifted their spirits, and soon enough, Lin was back on her feet, a sparkle returning to her eyes. When Lin finally resumed selling lottery tickets, she spotted Mai on her way to work. "Auntie! I'm back," she exclaimed, her smile radiating joy. "I'm so glad to see you, Lin. How are you?" Mai replied, feeling a wave of relief. "I feel much better now. Thank you for everything," Lin beamed. As time passed, their bond deepened. Mai learned more about Lin's life, her dreams of becoming a teacher, and the struggles her family faced. She admired Lin's resilience and determination, and Lin looked up to Mai as a mentor and friend. Months later, however, life took an unexpected turn for Mai. She faced a financial crisis when her company downsized, and she found herself struggling to make ends meet. Bills piled up, and anxiety loomed over her. Each morning felt heavier as she walked past Lin's corner, guilt tugging at her heart. One day, as Mai trudged past, she noticed a crowd gathering around Lin. Curious, she approached and heard the excited chatter. "She won! She won the lottery," a voice exclaimed. Mai's heart raced as she squeezed through the crowd to reach Lin. The girl was holding a ticket high in the air, her face alight with disbelief. "I can't believe it. I won a huge jackpot!" Lin exclaimed, her laughter infectious. Overwhelmed with joy for Lin, Mai's own worries felt momentarily forgotten. They hugged tightly, the energy between them electric with hope and excitement. As the news spread, Lynn and her family celebrated their newfound fortune. True to her nature, Lynn remembered Mai's kindness during her illness. A few days later, she approached Mai with a determined look in her eyes. "Auntie Mai, I want to help you," Lynn said, her voice firm. "What do you mean?" Mai asked, surprised. "I want to share my winnings. You helped me when I was sick, and now it's my turn to help you. You should not have to worry about money." Tears welled up in Mai's eyes. "Lynn, you don't have to do that. I'm so proud of you for winning, and you should enjoy it." But Lynn shook her head. "No, please. I insist. You've always believed in me, and I want to make sure you're okay. I'll help with your bills and anything else you need." With a heart full of gratitude, Mai accepted Lynn's generous offer. It was a testament to their bond, one that had grown from an act of kindness into a beautiful friendship. With Lynn's support, Mai could breathe easier and focus on finding new work without the crushing weight of financial worry. As the weeks went by, Mai and Lynn continued to support each other. Lynn used some of her winnings to pursue her dream of education, enrolling in courses to become a teacher while also helping her family improve their living conditions. Mai, inspired by Lynn's resilience, started a small online business that gradually grew, allowing her to regain financial stability. Their lives intertwined in ways they had never imagined, and both Mai and Lynn learned the true power of kindness, generosity, and friendship. They often reminisced about the day they first met and how a simple gesture could change the course of their lives. Years later, as they looked back on their journey, they knew that their connection would last a lifetime. They had both faced challenges, but their friendship had been a source of strength and inspiration. Lynn often reminded Mai, "You taught me that no matter how small the act of kindness, it can create a ripple effect." Together, they continued to support others in their community, believing that everyone deserved a helping hand. Through their actions, they built a legacy of compassion and hope, inspiring those around them to lift each other up, just as they had done for one another. And in that bond, they found not just friendship, but a shared purpose that would carry them forward into the future. As the years went by, Mai and Lynn's lives blossomed in ways they had never anticipated. Their bond deepened, and they often collaborated on community projects, using their experiences to uplift others. They believed in the transformative power of kindness and worked tirelessly to spread that message. One day, Lynn approached Mai with an idea. "Auntie, what if we start a program to help other children like me? We can provide them with resources, mentorship, and support so they don't have to struggle alone." Mai's eyes lit up at the thought. "That's a brilliant idea, Lynn. We can create a mentorship program that connects older students with younger ones, just like we did." They began organizing workshops, reaching out to local schools and community centers. Together, they developed a curriculum that included life skills, financial literacy, and personal development. They wanted to ensure that every child felt valued and empowered to pursue their dreams. The program quickly gained traction, and they received support from local businesses and organizations. Volunteers signed up to mentor children, and soon, they were hosting monthly gatherings where mentors and ments could connect, share experiences, and learn from one another. At one of their first events, a shy boy named Duwei approached Lynn and Mai. "I don't know what I want to be when I grow up," he confessed, looking down at his shoes. Lynn knelt beside him, her eyes filled with warmth. "That's okay. Sometimes it takes time to figure it out. How about we explore different careers together? You might discover something you're passionate about." Dewey's face brightened, and he nodded enthusiastically. With each event, the program created a safe space for children to express their dreams, fears, and aspirations. They learned from one another, and the bonds formed were heartwarming. As the mentorship program flourished, Mai and Lynn decided to hold an annual community fair to celebrate their achievements. They wanted to showcase the talents of the children and provide a platform for them to shine. The fair featured games, art exhibits, and performances, creating a festive atmosphere that brought the community together. On the day of the fair, the streets were alive with laughter and excitement. Children showcased their artwork, and Duwei performed a song he had written, sharing his journey of self-discovery. Lin beamed with pride as she watched him on stage, realizing how far he had come. As the day unfolded, Mai took a moment to reflect on their journey. She remembered the timid girl who had once sold lottery tickets on the corner, and how that same girl had become a beacon of hope for so many others. "Lin," she said, her voice filled with emotion, "look at what we've built together. This is incredible." Lin smiled, her eyes sparkling. "I couldn't have done it without you, Auntie. You believed in me when I was just a kid selling tickets. Now, we're giving that belief to others." The fair was a resounding success, and it inspired even more community members to get involved. Mai and Lin expanded their program, partnering with local organizations to offer scholarships for children interested in pursuing further education. They believed that access to education was key to breaking the cycle of poverty. As they grew older, Lin pursued her dream of becoming a teacher, eventually earning a scholarship to a prestigious university. Mai continued to manage her online business, which had flourished with the support of the community. They often collaborated on projects, merging their passions for education and entrepreneurship. One day, as they were preparing for another community event, Lin turned to Mai with a thoughtful expression. "Auntie, what if we create a scholarship fund in honor of everyone who has supported us? We can help even more kids achieve their dreams." Mai's heart swelled with pride at Lin's idea. "That's a wonderful plan. Let's honor those who believed in us and continue to inspire the next generation." With renewed determination, they launched the Scholarship Fund, hosting fundraising events and engaging local businesses in the effort. The community rallied around their cause, eager to contribute and support the children who needed it most. Years later, as Lin graduated from university, she stood before a crowd of supporters, holding her diploma with tears of joy in her eyes. "I wouldn't be here without the kindness and support of this incredible community," she said, her voice trembling with emotion. "Thank you for believing in me and helping me reach my dreams. Now, it's my turn to give back." The applause echoed in the hall, and Mai felt a wave of nostalgia wash over her. She remembered the day they first met and how far they had come since then. Their journey had been filled with challenges, but their unwavering bond had helped them overcome every obstacle. After the graduation ceremony, they celebrated with a small gathering of friends and family. Lin looked at Mai, her eyes glistening with gratitude. "Thank you for everything, Auntie. You've always been my guiding light." Mai smiled warmly, her heart full. "And you've become my inspiration. We've built something beautiful together." As they raised their glasses to toast their accomplishments, they knew that their story was just beginning. Together, they would continue to uplift others, creating a legacy of kindness, empowerment, and unwavering support for generations to come. And through every challenge they faced, they would always remember that the smallest acts of kindness could spark the most extraordinary journeys. As Lin settled into her new role as a teacher, she brought the same passion and dedication to her classroom that Mai had shown her throughout their journey. She believed deeply in the potential of each student, encouraging them to explore their interests and dreams. Lin often shared her own story, reminding her students that hard work and kindness could lead to remarkable transformations. One day, during a lesson about community and support, Lin introduced a project called Kindness in Action. The idea was simple: each student would identify a way to help someone in their community and then execute that plan. The enthusiasm was palpable as the students brainstormed ideas, from organizing a food drive to creating care packages for elderly neighbors. Among the students was a shy girl named Hoa, who struggled to speak up in class. Lin noticed her hesitance and approached her after the lesson. "Hoa, do you have any ideas for your project?" she asked gently. After a moment, Hoa whispered, "I want to help my grandma. She lives alone, and I don't think she has enough food." Lin's heart warmed at the thought. "That's a wonderful idea. How about we work on it together? We can gather some supplies and deliver them to her." With Lin's encouragement, Hoa found her voice and began to shine. The two of them collaborated to create a care package filled with groceries and a handwritten note from Hoa expressing her love and appreciation. When they delivered it to Hoa's grandmother, the woman's eyes filled with tears of joy. "Thank you, my dear," "This means so much to me," she said, hugging her granddaughter tightly. Seeing the happiness in Hoa's eyes filled Lin with pride. It was moments like these that reminded her why she had become a teacher in the first place. She was not just educating her students, she was empowering them to make a difference in their communities. As the months passed, the Kindness in Action project blossomed. Students shared their experiences, and many of them began to form meaningful connections with their neighbors. Lin organized a showcase event at the end of the semester, where each student presented their project. The auditorium was filled with proud parents, community members, and friends eager to hear about the impact their children had made. Lin stood on stage, her heart racing with excitement. "I'm so proud of each of you. You've shown that kindness can create ripples of change in our community. Your projects have not only helped others but have also strengthened our bonds with each other." After the presentations, community members approached Lin to express their gratitude for her efforts. "Your students have truly inspired us all," one neighbor said. "We should continue this spirit of kindness beyond the classroom." Encouraged by the support, Lin and Mai decided to expand the initiative into a community program. They held meetings with local leaders, discussing ways to foster a culture of kindness and collaboration in their neighborhood. With the backing of the community, they organized events like neighborhood cleanups, food drives, and cultural festivals, all aimed at bringing people together. One particularly successful event was a kindness festival that attracted families from all over the city. There were booths for various activities, from crafting to storytelling, and even a space for sharing kindness stories. Lin and Mai worked tirelessly to ensure everything was perfect, fueled by the belief that fostering kindness could transform their community. During the festival, Lin set up a booth where students could write letters of appreciation to their mentors, teachers, and anyone who had made a positive impact on their lives. The outpouring of gratitude was heartwarming, with many students expressing how much their mentors had meant to them. As the sun set over the festival, Lin found Mai standing at the edge of the crowd, observing the joy and laughter around them. "Can you believe how far we've come?" Lin said, her eyes shining with happiness. Mai smiled, feeling a sense of fulfillment wash over her. "It's incredible. The community is stronger than ever, and it's all thanks to your vision and hard work." "None of this would have been possible without you," Lin replied, gratitude evident in her voice. "You believed in me when I needed it most, and now I'm trying to pay that forward." As they watched the children playing and families bonding, Mai realized that the seeds of kindness they had planted together were flourishing into something beautiful. It was a legacy that would continue to grow, inspiring future generations. Years later, as Lin became a well-respected educator and advocate for youth empowerment, she often returned to the corner where she had once sold lottery tickets. It served as a reminder of her humble beginnings and the journey that had shaped her into who she was. On one such visit, she encountered a young girl selling lottery tickets, just as she had done. With a smile, Lin approached her. "Hi there. How are you doing?" The girl looked up, surprised by Lin's friendly demeanor. "I'm okay, I guess. Just trying to sell some tickets." Lin crouched down beside her. "Do you like selling tickets?" The girl shrugged. "It's okay, but I wish I could go to school more." In that moment, Lin felt a wave of compassion. "You know, I used to sell tickets too. But I was lucky to have someone who believed in me and helped me go to school. Would you like me to help you?" The girl's eyes widened with hope. "Really? You would?" "Absolutely. Let's talk about how we can make your dreams come true," Lin said, her heart swelling with purpose. As they chatted, Lin realized that the cycle of kindness she and Mai had begun was continuing. She was now in a position to inspire and uplift the next generation, just as she had been uplifted. It was a beautiful reminder that kindness is a powerful force, capable of changing lives and creating lasting connections. Reflecting on her journey, Lin understood that her story was intertwined with countless others. Each act of kindness created a ripple effect, and she was committed to continuing that legacy. Through her work, she hoped to inspire not just individual students but entire communities, fostering a culture of compassion that would thrive for years to come. In the end, the journey of the girl who once sold lottery tickets had come full circle. With Mai by her side and a new generation to inspire, Lin embraced the future with open arms, ready to make a difference one kind act at a time. As Lin continued to mentor the young girls selling lottery tickets, she began organizing workshops in the community, inviting local leaders and educators to share their insights and experiences. The workshops aimed to empower young people, offering them practical skills and knowledge about pursuing their dreams, just as Lin had experienced. One Saturday, Lin and Mai set up a workshop titled, Dream Big, Mapping Your Future. They invited students from various schools, encouraging them to bring their aspirations and ideas. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement as students arrived, eager to learn and share. Lin started the session by sharing her own journey, how she had transitioned from selling lottery tickets to becoming a teacher and community leader. She spoke about the importance of resilience, determination, and the support of mentors along the way. The students listened intently, captivated by her story. Every one of you has the potential to achieve your dreams, Lin emphasized. It's not just about where you start, it's about where you're willing to go and who you choose to help you along the way. After her talk, Lin led interactive activities where students worked in groups to discuss their dreams and develop action plans. They brainstormed ideas, encouraged one another, and shared their visions for the future. Lin walked around, offering guidance and support, her heart swelling with pride as she witnessed their enthusiasm. Among the students was a boy named Qian, who was shy and often kept to himself. When it was his turn to share, he hesitated but finally spoke up. "I want to be an engineer, but I don't think I'm smart enough." Lin knelt beside him, her eyes warm and reassuring. "Qian, I once thought I wasn't capable either. It's about believing in yourself and working hard. I believe you can achieve this. Let's create a plan together." Encouraged by her support, Qian began to open up. He shared his ideas for projects he wanted to work on, and with Lin's guidance, he mapped out steps to pursue his dream. By the end of the workshop, Qian's confidence had blossomed, and he left with a newfound determination. As the weeks passed, the workshops became a regular fixture in the community. Students would return, eager to learn and share their progress. Lin and Mai established a mentorship network, connecting students with professionals in various fields who could provide guidance and support. They organized field trips to local businesses and universities, exposing students to different career paths and opportunities. The impact of their efforts began to ripple throughout the community. Students who had once felt lost started to find their passions and set goals. They began to volunteer in local initiatives, using their skills to give back. Lin often marveled at how the simple act of sharing her story had sparked a movement of kindness and empowerment. One evening, as Lin and Mai were wrapping up a workshop, Mai turned to Lin with a thoughtful expression. "You know, Lin, we should celebrate what we've built. How about an annual community gala to honor our students and their achievements?" Lin's eyes lit up at the idea. "That would be amazing. We can showcase their projects and stories, and inspire even more people to get involved." With their mind set, they began planning the gala, reaching out to local businesses for sponsorships and support. The excitement in the community was palpable as the date approached. Students prepared presentations and performances, eager to share their journeys. On the night of the gala, the venue was adorned with colorful decorations and lights. Family members, mentors, and community leaders filled the room, buzzing with anticipation. Lin and Mai welcomed everyone, their hearts swelling with pride. "Tonight, we celebrate not just the achievements of our students, but the spirit of kindness and community that has brought us all together," Lin announced, her voice filled with emotion. The students took the stage one by one, sharing their stories, dreams, and the impact of the mentorship program on their lives. Qian spoke passionately about his engineering aspirations, recounting how he had learned to believe in himself. The audience erupted in applause, moved by the bravery and determination of the young speakers. As the evening unfolded, Lin noticed a familiar face in the crowd, Hoa, the girl who had initially approached her about helping her grandmother. Hoa had blossomed, exuding confidence as she presented her project about raising awareness for elderly care. Lin felt a surge of pride, knowing she had played a part in her journey. After the presentations, the crowd mingled, and the atmosphere was filled with laughter and joy. People exchanged stories and made connections, inspired by the resilience and dreams of the young students. As the gala came to a close, Mai and Lin stood together, watching the community they had nurtured. "We did it, Lin," Mai said, her eyes glistening with happiness. "This is just the beginning." Lin nodded, her heart full. "We've built something incredible. But I know there's so much more we can do." With renewed determination, they began to brainstorm ideas for future initiatives. They envisioned expanding their mentorship program to include workshops on mental health, financial literacy, and even arts and creativity. They wanted to equip students with a well-rounded skill set, preparing them for the challenges ahead. In the months that followed, their initiatives grew, and the mentorship program became a cornerstone of the community. Lin collaborated with local schools to implement the program, reaching even more students who could benefit from guidance and support. One day, as Lin was preparing for another workshop, she received a message that made her heart race. It was from a local television station, expressing interest in covering their mentorship program and the impact it was having on the community. They wanted to showcase the stories of the students and highlight the importance of kindness and mentorship. Lin couldn't contain her excitement. "Mai, this is it. This could amplify our message and inspire even more people to get involved." They quickly organized interviews with students, teachers, and community members, sharing their experiences and the positive changes they had witnessed. The television segment aired, and the response was overwhelming. Viewers reached out, eager to volunteer and contribute to the program, further strengthening the community's spirit. As Lin reflected on their journey, she felt a deep sense of gratitude. What had started with a small act of kindness, a girl selling lottery tickets, had transformed into a movement of empowerment and support. She was living proof that every small action could lead to monumental change. Years later, Lin stood before a new generation of students, sharing her story once more. She saw the same spark in their eyes that she once had, and she knew they would carry the torch of kindness forward. With Mai by her side, she felt ready to continue their mission, inspiring young minds to dream big and support one another. In that moment, Lin understood that the cycle of kindness they had nurtured would endure, creating a legacy that would impact countless lives. Together, they would continue to foster a community where every child could thrive, knowing they were supported, believed in, and capable of achieving their dreams. And as they embarked on this new chapter, Lin felt an unshakable sense of hope for the future, confident that together, they could overcome any challenge that lay ahead. As Lin continued her work, the mentorship program evolved into a thriving hub of creativity and collaboration. Students began initiating their own projects, driven by the skills and confidence they had gained. One of the most inspiring initiatives was a group of high school students who decided to create a mobile app aimed at connecting local volunteers with community service opportunities. They called it Kind Connect, and it quickly gained traction. Excited about this new development, Lin encouraged the students to pitch their idea to local businesses for support. With her guidance, they prepared a presentation showcasing the app's potential impact. On the day of the pitch, the students were nervous but determined. Lin sat in the audience, her heart swelling with pride as they confidently presented their vision. Kind Connect is more than just an app, it's a way to foster connections between those who want to give back and the community organizations that need help, one student explained. The room buzzed with enthusiasm as local business leaders recognized the power of such an initiative. After their presentation, a few local entrepreneurs stepped forward, offering to mentor the students in developing the app. With their combined expertise, the students dived into the project, learning about coding, user experience design, and marketing. The excitement was infectious, and soon, they were working late into the evenings, driven by a shared vision of making a difference. Meanwhile, Lin and Mai organized a community event to launch the app, inviting everyone to participate. The day was filled with energy as families came together to celebrate the students' hard work. Lin stood on stage, her heart brimming with joy as she introduced the project. Today, we celebrate the creativity and determination of our students. Kind Connect is not just an app, it's a testament to what we can achieve when we work together. I'm incredibly proud of each of you, she said, her voice full of emotion. As the app launched, the response was overwhelming. Community members began downloading it, eager to engage in service opportunities. Local organizations posted their needs, and volunteers quickly signed up. The app fostered a sense of unity, allowing everyone to contribute to causes they cared about. One evening, while reflecting on the success of Kind Connect, Lin received a message from Qian, who had been working on a project of his own. He wanted to create a STEM club for younger students, believing that early exposure to science and technology could ignite their passion for learning. Lin was thrilled by his initiative and immediately offered to help him get it started. Together, they organized a kickoff event, inviting students from nearby schools to join. Qian led a series of hands-on activities, sparking excitement among the younger children. Lin watched as Qian shared his knowledge with enthusiasm, knowing that he was now fulfilling the role of mentor that had once inspired him. As the STEM club gained popularity, more students began participating, and Qian's confidence soared. He not only became a role model for his peers but also inspired younger students to pursue their interests in science and technology. Lin couldn't help but feel a sense of fulfillment, knowing that the mentorship cycle was continuing. Meanwhile, Mai's online business flourished alongside the community initiatives. She began offering workshops on entrepreneurship, teaching students how to turn their ideas into reality. Mai shared her own experiences, emphasizing the importance of resilience and innovation in the face of challenges. One day, while discussing business plans with her workshop participants, a student named An spoke up. "I want to start a small bakery to help fund our community projects. I love baking, but I don't know where to start." Mai's eyes lit up. "That's a fantastic idea, and let's create a business plan together and figure out how you can make this happen." With Mai's guidance, An developed a plan, learned about budgeting, and even started baking treats to sell at local events. Her small bakery quickly became a hit, and the profits went directly into funding community projects. As An's business flourished, the sense of collaboration within the community deepened. People began to support one another's ventures, understanding that success could be shared. The workshops and initiatives created a network of support that resonated throughout the neighborhood. With the momentum building, Lin and Mai decided to host a Community Impact Day, celebrating all the projects and initiatives that had emerged from their mentorship program. They invited local media to cover the event, showcasing the power of community engagement. On the day of the event, families gathered to celebrate the achievements of their children. Students presented their projects, from Qian's STEM club to An's bakery, and shared stories of the positive changes they had witnessed. The atmosphere was electric with pride and excitement. Lin stood before the crowd, her heart full as she addressed everyone. "Today, we celebrate not just individual achievements but the strength of our community. Each of you plays a vital role in making a difference, and together, we are creating a brighter future." As the sun began to set, Lin felt a deep sense of gratitude for the journey they had taken together. What had started with a small act of kindness had transformed into a powerful movement of support, empowerment, and connection. The students, now young leaders, were paving the way for the next generation. Years later, as Lin looked back on her journey, she felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The once shy girl who had struggled to find her place in the world had become a pillar of strength and inspiration in her community. She was proud to have played a role in shaping the lives of countless young people, and she knew the legacy of kindness and support would continue long into the future. With Mai by her side, Lin remained committed to her mission of empowering the next generation. They understood that their journey was far from over. There were still many lives to touch, many dreams to nurture, and many stories to inspire. Together, they envisioned a future where kindness was at the heart of everything they did. They dreamed of expanding their mentorship program beyond their community, reaching neighboring towns and cities, creating a network of support that transcended borders. And so, with unwavering determination, Lin and Mai set out on a new chapter of their journey. They knew that every small act of kindness could lead to monumental change, and they were ready to inspire a movement that would continue to grow, bringing hope and light to all those they encountered along the way. As Lynn and Mai embarked on their ambitious plans to expand their mentorship program, they began by organizing a regional conference focused on youth empowerment and community engagement. They envisioned it as a gathering of educators, mentors, students, and community leaders, all coming together to share ideas and resources. Months of preparation followed. They reached out to local schools, organizations, and businesses, inviting them to participate. Workshops were planned, keynote speakers were booked, and students were encouraged to showcase their projects. The excitement in the air was palpable as the event date approached. On the day of the conference, the venue buzzed with energy. Colorful banners adorned the walls, and booths showcased various initiatives from different communities. Lynn and Mai welcomed participants at the entrance, their hearts swelling with pride as they saw the diversity of attendees eager to learn and connect. The conference kicked off with an inspiring keynote address from a well-known youth advocate who shared her journey of overcoming challenges and making a difference in her community. The audience was captivated, and the atmosphere was charged with motivation. Throughout the day, participants attended workshops on various topics, including leadership skills, community organizing, and the importance of mental health. Lynn and Mai led a session titled, "Creating Change: The Power of Mentorship," where they shared their experiences and encouraged others to start their own mentorship programs. During their workshop, they invited Kien and N to speak about their initiatives. Kien enthusiastically described his STEM club and the impact it had on younger students, while N shared her journey of starting her bakery and how it had not only funded community projects but also brought people together through shared baking experiences. As they spoke, Lynn saw the audience nodding, inspired by the students' determination and creativity. The energy in the room was contagious, and Lynn felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She realized that they were not just sharing their stories, they were igniting a spark in others to take action in their own communities. After a full day of workshops and discussions, the conference culminated in a networking session. Participants mingled, exchanging ideas, forming collaborations, and sharing resources. Lynn watched as connections were made, knowing that these relationships would extend beyond the conference. As the sun began to set, the event wrapped up with a closing ceremony. Lynn took to the stage once more, looking out at the diverse crowd. Today, we've seen the incredible power of community and the difference we can make when we come together. Let's continue this journey, supporting one another and fostering a culture of kindness. The audience erupted in applause, and Lynn felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. They had created something meaningful, a network of changemakers ready to take action. In the weeks following the conference, Lynn and Mai received numerous messages from participants expressing their enthusiasm and commitment to starting their own mentorship programs. They realized that the movement they had started was gaining momentum beyond their wildest dreams. Inspired by the feedback, Lynn and Mai decided to create an online platform where mentors and ments could connect, share resources, and support one another. They envisioned it as a digital space that would bridge communities, allowing people from different backgrounds to collaborate and learn from one another. With the help of tech-savvy students, they developed the platform, integrating features that allowed users to create profiles, post mentorship opportunities, and share success stories. The launch of the platform was met with excitement, and they quickly garnered a growing user base. As the platform flourished, Lynn and Mai organized virtual events, inviting experts to lead discussions on topics relevant to young people and mentors. They created a community forum where users could ask questions, seek advice, and share their experiences. The sense of belonging and support was palpable, and Lynn felt a deep sense of purpose. One day, while reviewing the platform's progress, Lynn received a message from a young girl named Lean. She shared that she had struggled with self-esteem and finding her place in the world but had found encouragement through the stories and connections on the platform. Lean expressed her desire to start her own initiative focused on mental health awareness among her peers. Lynn's heart soared at Lean's determination. She reached out to her, offering guidance and resources to help her launch the initiative. Together, they developed a plan for a mental health awareness campaign, which included workshops, social media outreach, and community events. With Lynn's support, Lean organized her first workshop, inviting mental health professionals to speak and share resources. The event attracted students from various schools, and the atmosphere was filled with openness and understanding. Lynn stood proudly as she facilitated discussions, helping her peers recognize the importance of mental health and self-care. As Lynn's initiative gained traction, Lynn felt a sense of fulfillment unlike any other. She saw the impact of their collective efforts, witnessing young leaders emerging from their community, ready to tackle pressing issues and create positive change. Meanwhile, the mentorship program continued to expand. Lynn and Mai received requests from neighboring towns eager to implement similar initiatives. They organized training sessions for new mentors, equipping them with the skills needed to support and empower their mentees effectively. As the program grew, Lynn reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. She thought back to the days when she had sold lottery tickets, unsure of her path, and how a single act of kindness had transformed her life. She felt grateful for the connections she had made and the lives they had touched. One evening, as Lynn and Mai sat together, planning future initiatives, Mai turned to Lynn with a thoughtful expression. "You know, Lynn, we've created something truly special. But I can't help but think about the long-term sustainability of our programs. How can we ensure this continues to grow?" Lynn nodded, understanding the importance of sustainability. "Perhaps we should explore partnerships with local businesses and organizations. We can create sponsorship opportunities and involve the community in supporting our initiatives." With renewed determination, they began reaching out to potential partners, sharing their vision and the impact of their programs. They proposed collaborative projects that would benefit both the community and the businesses involved, emphasizing the mutual benefits of investing in youth development. As the partnerships flourished, Lynn and Mai were able to secure funding for scholarships, resources, and expanded programming. They organized community events to celebrate their partnerships, inviting businesses to showcase their commitment to supporting local youth. The community's response was overwhelmingly positive. Local businesses rallied behind the cause, offering mentorship, resources, and sponsorships for initiatives that resonated with their values. Lynn watched as the fabric of the community grew stronger, woven together by a shared commitment to uplifting one another. Years passed, and Lynn's journey continued to inspire others. The mentorship program became a model for similar initiatives across the country, attracting attention from media and education advocates. Lynn found herself speaking at conferences and workshops, sharing her story and encouraging others to create change in their own communities. As she stood before a crowd one day, she reflected on how far they had come. She spoke about the importance of kindness, resilience, and collaboration, emphasizing that every individual has the power to make a difference. "Change begins with each of us," she said, her voice resonating with conviction. "Together, we can build a brighter future, one act of kindness at a time." With each passing year, Lynn remained dedicated to her mission. She knew that the journey of empowerment and community building was ongoing, and she was committed to nurturing the next generation of leaders. And so, with the support of Mai, their community, and a growing network of mentors and mentees, Lynn continued to pave the way for positive change. She felt a profound sense of purpose, knowing that their work would leave a lasting legacy, one that would inspire future generations to embrace kindness, pursue their dreams, and uplift one another in the journey ahead. As Lynn continued to share her journey, she often found herself reflecting on the roots of her mission. It wasn't just about the mentorship program or the initiatives they had built, it was about the fundamental belief in the power of community and connection. With this in mind, she decided it was time to further expand their outreach by launching a series of community storytelling events. The concept was simple yet profound: create spaces where individuals could share their personal stories, struggles, and triumphs. Lynn believed that storytelling had the power to heal, inspire, and unite people, and she wanted to harness that power to strengthen the bonds within their community. With Mai's support, they organized the first storytelling event in a local park. They invited community members from all walks of life to come and share their experiences, encouraging both adults and children to participate. The atmosphere was warm and inviting, with blankets spread out on the grass and fairy lights twinkling overhead. As the sun began to set, Lynn took the stage to welcome everyone. "Tonight, we gather not just to listen but to connect," she said, her voice resonating with sincerity. "Every story shared is a thread in the fabric of our community. Together, we can weave a tapestry of resilience, hope, and inspiration." One by one, individuals stepped up to share their stories. There was a single mother who spoke about the challenges she faced raising her children while pursuing her education. A retired veteran shared his journey of reintegration into civilian life and the importance of mental health support. Each story resonated with the audience, creating an atmosphere of empathy and understanding. Lynn watched as tears were shed, laughter erupted, and connections were formed. The event transformed into a safe space where vulnerability was celebrated, and people felt seen and heard. It was evident that the power of storytelling was creating a ripple effect, encouraging others to open up about their own experiences. After the event, attendees mingled, discussing what they had heard and forging new friendships. Lynn felt a profound sense of fulfillment, knowing that they had facilitated connections that could lead to support and collaboration in the future. As the storytelling events continued, they became a cornerstone of community engagement. Each gathering attracted more participants, and stories shared sparked ideas for new initiatives. People began collaborating on projects based on shared interests, whether it was starting a community garden or organizing a literacy program for adults. One particularly impactful story came from a young woman named Hoa, who shared her experience as a first-generation immigrant. She spoke about the challenges her family faced and how her journey inspired her to advocate for immigrant rights. Her story resonated with many, and soon after, a group formed around the idea of creating an advocacy program to support immigrants in their community. Encouraged by the success of these storytelling events, Lynn and Mike decided to document the stories shared, creating a community anthology. They invited participants to submit their stories, poems, and reflections, emphasizing the importance of preserving these narratives. The anthology would serve as both a celebration of their community's diversity and a resource for future generations. As the anthology project took shape, Lynn noticed that the community was becoming more interconnected. People who had once been strangers were now collaborating on various initiatives, united by a shared vision of support and empowerment. The energy was infectious, and Lynn felt invigorated by the positive momentum. One evening, as they were preparing for a storytelling event, Lynn received a surprise visit from Kien, who had now graduated from college with a degree in engineering. He walked into the room with a beaming smile. "Lynn, I have some exciting news." Curious, Lynn gestured for him to share. "I just got hired at a local tech firm, and they want me to lead a project focused on sustainable technology. I couldn't have done it without your support and the mentorship program." Tears of joy welled in Lynn's eyes as she hugged Kien. "I'm so proud of you. You've worked so hard, and this is just the beginning. You'll make such a difference." Kien's excitement was palpable. "I also want to give back. I'd love to mentor younger students interested in STEM and help them navigate their own paths." Together, they brainstormed ideas for a new mentorship initiative focused specifically on STEM education. Kien's passion for science and technology inspired him to create hands-on workshops where students could explore different fields, work on projects, and connect with professionals in the industry. As Kien launched his STEM initiative, Lynn witnessed the transformative power of mentorship come full circle. Students who had once participated in the program were now stepping into leadership roles, ready to guide the next generation. The community was thriving, and Lynn felt a deep sense of pride in the legacy they were building. Months passed, and the anthology was finally published, showcasing the rich tapestry of stories that reflected the community's spirit. Lynn organized a launch event to celebrate, inviting everyone who had contributed. The room was filled with excitement as people gathered to share their stories, hold the anthology, and celebrate the power of their collective voices. As the event unfolded, Lynn took a moment to reflect. She felt a sense of gratitude for the journey they had embarked on together, the lives they had touched, and the relationships they had built. It was a testament to the power of kindness, empathy, and the importance of community. Looking around the room, Lynn saw the faces of young leaders, parents, educators, and friends, all united by a shared commitment to uplift one another. She understood that this was not just her journey, it was a collective effort, a movement fueled by the belief that every person has the power to make a difference. As the night came to a close, Lynn stepped onto the stage once more. Tonight, we celebrate not just the stories we've shared, but the connections we've made. Each of us has a role to play in creating a brighter future. Let's continue to support one another, uplift our community, and inspire change together. The room erupted in applause, and Lynn felt a deep sense of belonging. She knew that the journey ahead would be filled with challenges and triumphs, but together, they would navigate it all with courage and compassion. As she left the event, surrounded by friends and supporters, Lynn looked up at the stars twinkling in the night sky. She felt hopeful, knowing that their collective efforts would continue to create waves of change, inspiring future generations to dream big and support one another on their journeys. With each story shared, each act of kindness, and each connection made, they were building a legacy that would endure, a legacy rooted in love, community, and the belief that together, they could achieve anything. As the momentum from the anthology launch carried through the community, Lynn and I found themselves inundated with requests for workshops and storytelling events. Schools, community centers, and even local businesses reached out, eager to partner with them in fostering a culture of support and empowerment. It was clear that the ripple effect of their efforts was gaining strength, and they were ready to embrace the challenge. One day, while brainstorming new initiatives, I proposed a community challenge. What if we launched a 30 Days of Kindness campaign? Each day, individuals could commit to performing one act of kindness, no matter how small. We could share stories on social media to inspire others. Lynn's eyes lit up with excitement. That's a fantastic idea. It could engage even more people and create a positive buzz around our community. Let's kick it off with a launch event. They set a date and organized a vibrant community gathering to introduce the campaign. The park, which had become a beloved hub for their events, was adorned with colorful banners and cheerful decorations. Lynn and I encouraged participants to share their own ideas for acts of kindness, from helping neighbors to volunteering at local shelters. As the launch event unfolded, people began to share their commitments. A group of children promised to help clean up the local playground, while teens pledged to mentor younger students. Local businesses joined in, offering discounts for anyone who could demonstrate an act of kindness. The energy was infectious, and Lynn felt invigorated by the enthusiasm of her community. Over the next few weeks, the hashtag 30 Days of Kindness campaign took off. Social media was flooded with heartwarming stories and photos of people helping one another, fostering a sense of unity and compassion. Every day, participants shared their experiences, whether it was baking cookies for a neighbor, donating books to a local school, or simply writing uplifting notes for friends. The small acts accumulated into a movement that sparked joy and connection throughout the community. One afternoon, Lynn received a message from Lean, who had been actively participating in the challenge. Lynn, I have an idea for a follow-up project. How about we create a kindness mural? We could invite everyone to contribute their thoughts on kindness, and it could serve as a permanent reminder of our campaign. Lynn loved the idea. Together with Lean, they organized a community art day, inviting local artists and residents to come together to create the mural. They provided materials and set up an area where people could paint, draw, and write messages about kindness. On the day of the event, the park was alive with creativity. Families gathered, children splashed colors across canvases, and laughter filled the air. Lynn marveled at the beauty of collaboration as she saw individuals from all walks of life coming together to create something meaningful. As the mural took shape, it became a tapestry of vibrant colors and heartfelt messages. People painted handprints, wrote inspirational quotes, and added drawings symbolizing their commitment to kindness. The energy was electric, and Lynn felt a profound sense of belonging within this community. Once the mural was complete, they unveiled it with a small ceremony, inviting everyone to come together and celebrate their collective effort. Lynn stood before the crowd, her heart full of gratitude. This mural represents our commitment to kindness and the incredible power we have when we come together as a community. Let it remind us to uplift one another every day. As the crowd cheered, Lynn noticed the sense of pride radiating from those who had contributed. It was clear that this project had deepened connections and reinforced their collective identity as a community rooted in compassion. Over the following months, the mural became a gathering place. People would stop by to admire it, take photos, and reflect on their own acts of kindness. It served as a reminder of the bonds they had forged and the positive impact they could create together. As Lynn and Mai continued their work, they realized the importance of sustainability in their efforts. They organized regular community meetings to gather feedback and ideas, ensuring that everyone felt included in the planning process. They also set up a volunteer committee composed of students, parents, and community members to help drive new initiatives. One evening, during a community meeting, a young man named Dewey stood up. "I'd love to organize a charity run to raise funds for local families in need. It could also promote health and wellness in our community." Lynn and Mai exchanged excited glances. "That sounds amazing, Dewey. We can help you with the logistics and outreach," Lynn replied, feeling inspired by the initiative. Together, they brainstormed ideas for the charity run, discussing routes, potential sponsors, and marketing strategies. As the charity run came to fruition, the community rallied behind Dewey's vision. Local businesses sponsored the event, offering refreshments and prizes for participants. Flyers were distributed, and social media buzzed with excitement as people signed up to run or walk for the cause. On the day of the charity run, the atmosphere was electric. Hundreds of participants gathered at the park, adorned in colorful shirts with the slogan, "Run for Kindness." Lynn felt a wave of pride as she watched families, friends, and individuals come together for a common purpose. Dewey, beaming with enthusiasm, kicked off the event with a motivational speech. "Today, we're not just running, we're making a difference. Every step we take helps our neighbors in need. Let's show what our community can do." As the run began, Lynn joined in, feeling the energy of the crowd. The sound of laughter, cheers, and footsteps resonated in her ears, a beautiful reminder of the power of collective action. After the run, the community gathered for a celebration filled with food, music, and games, creating an atmosphere of joy and camaraderie. When the event concluded, Dewey announced the total amount raised, enough to support several local families facing hardship. The crowd erupted in applause, and Lynn felt tears of joy prick at her eyes. They had not only raised funds but had also deepened their connections and strengthened their community spirit. As the year continued, Lynn and Mai reflected on the remarkable journey they had embarked on together. Their mentorship program had grown beyond their expectations, evolving into a vibrant network of support, kindness, and empowerment. The community had embraced the principles of collaboration and connection, proving that even the smallest acts could lead to monumental change. Looking ahead, Lynn and Mai began to envision new horizons. They wanted to create a regional summit, inviting neighboring communities to share their experiences, challenges, and successes in fostering kindness and support. They believed that by coming together, they could inspire a movement that transcended borders and brought about even greater change. With excitement bubbling within them, they set to work planning the summit. They reached out to potential speakers, organized workshops, and designed a program that would foster collaboration among participants. The vision of a regional summit centered around kindness and community empowerment ignited a fire within them. As the date approached, the anticipation grew. On the day of the summit, people from various towns gathered, eager to share and learn. Lynn opened the event, welcoming everyone and expressing her gratitude for their collective commitment to making a difference. Throughout the day, inspiring speakers shared their journeys, highlighting the power of community engagement and the impact of kindness. Workshops offered practical tools and strategies for building support networks, and participants exchanged ideas and forged connections that would extend beyond the summit. The atmosphere was filled with hope and enthusiasm. Lynn and Mai felt a profound sense of purpose as they witnessed the impact of their efforts ripple through the larger community. The summit concluded with a call to action, encouraging everyone to implement kindness initiatives back home and continue the journey together. As the attendees left, Lynn felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. She realized that their mission had grown into something much larger than themselves. It was a movement rooted in love, compassion, and the belief that every individual has the power to affect change. Years later, as Lynn looked back on the evolution of their journey, she was filled with gratitude. The once quiet girl who had found her voice through acts of kindness had become a catalyst for change, inspiring countless others to embrace their potential. With Mai by her side and a community of passionate individuals supporting her, Lynn knew that their work was far from over. Together, they would continue to foster a culture of kindness, uplift future generations, and build a legacy that would endure for years to come. And as long as there were stories to share, acts of kindness to celebrate, and connections to nurture, Lynn's journey would continue, inspiring hearts and minds to embrace the power of community and compassion. As Lynn reflected on the years of growth, connection, and transformation within the community, she felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. What had started as a simple act of kindness had blossomed into a vibrant movement, woven together by the threads of shared experiences and unwavering support. At the next community gathering, Lynn stood before the crowd, a tapestry of familiar faces illuminated by warm, glowing lights. She looked out at the community that had come together, bound by their commitment to uplift one another. "Tonight, we celebrate not just what we've achieved but who we've become," she began, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "Together, we have created a culture where kindness is the norm, where every act, no matter how small, has the power to change lives." Cheers erupted from the audience, and Lynn smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "Let's continue to share our stories, support one another, and inspire kindness in every corner of our lives. Our journey doesn't end here, it's just the beginning." As she concluded, the crowd stood united, chanting their shared mantra, "Together, we rise." The sense of community was palpable, and Lynn knew that as long as they maintained their spirit of compassion and connection, they could face any challenge that lay ahead. In that moment, she understood that their legacy would endure, not just in the programs they had built or the initiatives they had launched, but in the hearts of everyone who had been touched by their journey. Each story, each connection, and each act of kindness would continue to ripple outward, inspiring others to join the movement. With renewed determination, Lynn stepped off the stage, ready to embrace the future with her community by her side. They were not just individuals, they were a collective force for good, dedicated to making the world a brighter place, one act of kindness at a time. And as they embarked on this ongoing journey together, Lynn felt a profound sense of hope for the future, a future where kindness would always triumph.